welcome along to the Invincible podcast with my man Lee Judge. There's no Julian today, right? Probably going to make for a better show.
Yeah, definitely like that.
No Julian today. He's off in Cyprus.
Yeah,
right?
got Cyprus this morning.
Yeah, he got some sort of meeting or something
Fire
going on
Cecil.
in Cyprus. Yeah, where he asked Cecil to drop him to the airport. This guy's incredible, isn't he?
He dropped him to the airport, go like an hour out of his way, you know what I mean, so that he just don't buy and get an Uber. He's unbelievable. Right, and poor Cecil done it as well. Like
Cecil's a mug, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, right? It's the two of us here. And listen, we've got to talk about this, right? I said to my daughter, right, we was at the game, obviously the Arsenal game, Arsenal drawing 0-0 with Nottingham Forest. Difficult place to go to.
Yeah.
Tough place to go to. Remember, Liverpool went there. They didn't win either. It was a draw when they went there. They actually took 4 points off Liverpool this season. So it is a tough place to go to, right? But 0-0 in the end. And I was saying to my daughter, I go, Kenya, you know what, right? I go, simple maths equation, yeah? No striker equals no goals. That is exactly what we've seen now in the last couple of games.
Yeah.
No striker equals no goals. It was a 0-0 draw. Yes, the effort and all that was way better from Arsenal compared to the West Ham game, right? They tried, can't fault the, you know, all that. But no goals again, right? And I was interested to see Nuno Espirito Santo, the Nottingham Forest manager, in his interview. He was asked, why did you sort of change your formation a bit? You normally kind of, when you're playing teams like Arsenal, you go with like a 5 at the back. You didn't. You went with like a 4 at the back. So actually what they played was like a 4-5-1, right? Which is very negative, right? And what he said is, well, we know Arsenal don't have a striker. So you don't really need to go with a 5 at the back. What we did was put 5 in midfield to flood that midfield, clamp down all the creativity in the midfield to create less for the players out wide. And that was just so damning for me. So damning. And again, it goes back to the fact that Arsenal, what they did in January, it's going to happen every single game now.
Yeah.
Where, you know, that's 2 games in a row where Arsenal have scored no goals. I mean, Lee, it's just shocking. And, you know, basically like Liverpool are just on a procession to the title, isn't it? It's like they're 13 points clear now. Listen, it ain't that we lost it on Saturday in the West Ham game. But it's just worrying going forward from now till the end of the season. Yeah. It's even worrying for the Champions League. Who's going to score these goals?
Yeah. Well, I said yesterday we won't win more than three games now to the end of the season, and probably 2 of them are Ipswich and Southampton. The rest I don't see us winning. I'm not saying we're losing, but I don't see them winning. I've got to say yesterday, big up to the players. They put in a shift yesterday, worked really hard, but ultimately they was never going to score. Never going to score. Even set pieces, you know, teams do their own work on us now. Set pieces are not going to be there, and without Saka again, the delivery is not quite the same on that side as it is with Declan Rice, you know. So there's a lot of things to go on there. Listen, I'll be one that I'll criticise and have the when I feel that the players have not put the effort in, or you know, when they're good enough. But you can see yesterday that the players work their socks off, and they're just not good enough as an attacking unit no more. I thought defensively we was fantastic yesterday, midfield fantastic. But then when you went up front, we just had nothing. We had nothing. And listen, in the context of everything, let's just take away from everything there. To go to Nottingham Forest, 3rd in the league, and get a point, it ain't a bad result, Rob. Really,
we've taken 4 points off them this season.
Yeah. It's not a bad result, but on the back of what we see at the weekend, and that's when it really hurt me, because that was the realisation. I know people have said to me, we never thought he was going to win the league. Yeah, I felt that we was. One thing that's really hurt me about it all, and I was talking, two things, I talked to my brother about it today, and he's a Spurs fan, as you know. One, like, if Arsenal were 4 or 5 points clear in January, would Liverpool, in the same position as us, Manchester City or any of those teams done absolutely nothing, they would have done. They wouldn't just give us the title like I'm not saying we'd give it to Liverpool, but you know what I'm saying.
We have given it to them.
Yeah, hand it over, like basically concede it. And the other thing is and it's true what he said today, like, you know, so he said, like, Arsenal are the only team that's challenged Liverpool, realistically, and we're the ones
that's actually true, yeah.
We're the ones getting all the stick. You know what I mean? And Mickey taking, like, you know, he said, I'd love Tottenham to be in second place like this time now, like, you know, but it's not. So we have to accept that that's how it is. But the realisation is that we could have been out there, still out there now, and we wouldn't be scoring, like, you know. And do I feel sorry for the players? Yes, I do. Do I feel sorry for the fans that went yesterday? Yes. Do I feel sorry for anybody else? No. You know, like, for me, do I say a lack of ambition from the club?
Yes.
I think it is, Rob. I really do.
Here's a quick word from our sponsors. If you're spending any time online, you need a VPN. With Nord, your data's locked up tighter than Cecil's overpacked luggage, so no one's getting into your business. Using public Wi-Fi without a VPN is like playing a high line with Ben Davies at the back. You know what's going to happen. You're going to get exposed. But with NordVPN, your data is fully encrypted, meaning that hackers, data thieves, and even your mate trying to log into your streaming account, that does happen, can't touch you. Now, some of you might be interested in accessing content like the 3 p.m. football matches here in the UK. While we can't watch them directly, a VPN allows you with just one click to change your virtual location, like you're pretending to be in the USA or Australia to catch those games. Obviously, no one would do anything like that here, obviously. Nord is more than just sports, it's your passport to unlimited global streaming, from movies to exclusive shows, anytime, anywhere. And the best part is, NordVPN's got a huge deal for you. Head over to nordvpn.com/AFTV to get 4 extra months free on a 2-year plan, and there's a special birthday gift waiting for you too. Plus, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so if you bottle it, you get your money back. Big up to NordVPN. Now let's head back to the video. What you just said there is very telling. Like when you say, if it had been, you know, Man City in second, if it had been, I don't know, like you said, who did you say, Chelsea? Who's the other?
Well, like, Liverpool.
Liverpool in second. Would they have done
Chelsea,
the same thing?
you can put say Chelsea.
Yeah.
Anyone.
To me, it was a lack of ambition. It's a lack of ambition. I feel that, yeah, of course they were looking for players, right? They were looking for players. But every time they looked at players, they said to themselves, don't know, man, we're going to have to pay a big fee here. And we really want to keep that money back for the summer. Oh, that's a big loan fee for that amount of money, for that player. That's a lot of loan fee to pay right now. Oh, that's going to eat into our budget for the summer. Oh, what about now? I said it at the time. No one's being wise after the event. It's not just me. Like, you know, hundreds and thousands of fans said it. What about now? Manchester City, right? They went out. They spent big in January because they've been having a horrible season.
Yeah.
Right? And they wanted to make sure of 2 things. Number 1, they got into the Champions League for next season. Right? And number 2, that they could try and push to see if they could win the Champions League. They got knocked out of the Champions League, right? So that gamble's not paid off. But probably it's going to pay off for them getting into it. Because remember, they was in serious doubt that they could get into the top 4.
Yeah.
Now, you know, it's looking like they probably are going to push to get into that top, you know, they probably will get into the top 4 with the additional firepower that they've obtained. But why didn't Arsenal do that? Why did Arsenal look at Mamouche? Why? Why didn't Arsenal look at Marco Asensio's on loan at Aston Villa? Why didn't Arsenal look at Kolo Muani? All of these guys have made an impact.
Yeah.
Kolo Muani available on a free from the start of January, being offered out to every club going. Why didn't Arsenal look at him? Why didn't Arsenal try and make a big money move for Victor Osimhen, a striker that's on loan that Napoli would have sold, right? Why did Arsenal not have, you know what I mean? There was quite a few forward players that you'd probably have to pay a little bit over the odds for. Why didn't they even go and try and get a right-sided player or a left-sided player, somebody who could add to the firepower? How can they take such a gamble? There'll be people, like somebody said to me yesterday, yeah, but they didn't know that Havertz and Martinelli would be out. I said, no, that's not an excuse.
No.
Because if you've only got Havertz as your only striker, because Jesus is out, and Havertz is not even a striker. Havertz is a player that's been converted into a striker. Havertz was missing chances, having a tough time of it in December and January.
Yeah.
So you already know that it's not really a guy you can rely on. He's doing his best. He's a good, come in and he's done a job, but you need a striker, right? Regardless of Havertz. Regardless of if he's going to get injured.
Yeah, 100%.
And then you've also got a plan and say, what if he gets injured? We can't put Jesus in there because he's out. And we've got no kid that we can put in there, so we need a striker, right? On the left-hand side, on the forward wide players, you look at Sterling, he's been poor since he's come in. You can see the guy's got no confidence. In that game last night, watch him near the end of that game when he tried to buy that foul. He tried to buy that foul because he lacked confidence to try and beat that player, because he knew that if he tries to beat him and he loses it, right, the fans are right behind the goal. They're going to get on him. He's lacking confidence, so he didn't attempt it. He tried to buy a foul instead and gave the ball away, right? A guy that's been lacking in confidence, hasn't delivered at all this season. You know you can't rely on him. You've got to go and buy a wide player, right? They didn't do that, right? Also, you've got to look at it and say, what if Trossard gets injured? What if Martinelli gets injured? Because, so you've got the badly off-form Sterling, who you've not been able to rely on all season. And then you've got Martinelli and Trossard, right, as your senior forward players who've been playing week in, week out. Does no one look on that and say, what if one of them two gets injured?
No, it's just negligent.
Then you've got a 17-year-old, right, who's been our best forward player.
Who can't last a game.
Who can't last a game because he's 17. And then you tot up the goals amongst those forward players. Not one of them has got over 10 goals this season.
No.
None of them are in double figures. Now, who looks at all that and comes to the conclusion that, you know what, we can survive from now till the end of the season with nobody? They even messed up twice because they should have brought in someone early in that window because they knew they had the FA Cup, they had the League Cup, and we had no firepower, and they didn't do that. And we got knocked out of both of those competitions. And then now the league's done, basically because we've got no firepower, because in that game against West Ham, there's nobody to bring off the bench to try and turn a game. We see that game at West Ham. We see those games all the time.
Yeah,
you've got loads of possession.
They've not been addressed, Rob.
In it, we see those games all the time, Lee. Throughout a season, you've got lots of possession. It ain't happening. Team catches you on the counter attack. What do? You bring on firepower, turn it around. You win 2-1, 3-1. But we got nobody to bring on. Then last night, played better. All the ball, dominated Forest, dominated them from start to finish. No striker, relying on a 17-year-old, nothing. How can these guys who made this decision, whether it be Arteta or Jason Ato or all these board, how can they wake up this morning and say to themselves, yeah, actually, right decision?
I think that at the end of the day, there's going to be repercussions from this as well, and because apparently I didn't know that Declan Rice and Gabriel were arguing at the end of the game. I had a bit of a dust up, didn't they? I didn't even see that. I didn't even know it. Why is that? Because they're frustrated, Rob. They're two players that deserve better than what they're getting from whatever. So they're frustrated that it's happening. I look at it yesterday and, how can you criticise those players yesterday?
No, they gave everything.
They give it everything.
Saturday I criticised them, but last night, no.
Yeah, even on Saturday they've give it, but they've worked hard, but they just haven't got the ability to break down. So you're looking at it realistically. He's bringing on Shinchenko, who's not played midfield since he's been here. He can play in midfield, we know that, but he's never ever put him in midfield once. So why is he doing it now? Because it's desperation. If you be really honest, it's desperation. You look at Wanyeri, I think I'm hoping it's him yesterday, like, that's going to get the goal. He's the only one that looks likely. He's 17 years of age, but his body ain't up to it at this moment in time. But he shouldn't be doing what he. But what footballer he's going to be?
He's going to be, yeah.
You know what I mean? But you're asking him to take Arsenal forward as a 17-year-old. I look at it there. You look at Odegaard yesterday, completely. You know, people saying that he worked hard yesterday. I expect him to work hard. He's completely out of form, Robbie. But we're having to play him. Why? Because there's nothing else to back that up. You know, when he was injured at the beginning of the season, we'd had nothing. You know what I mean, like, of it all there. Trossard, to me, is a squad player that's a bit asking to play week in, week out. Never going to be the player that's going to take you over the line. I looked at it yesterday and go, where are the players going to win you that game? Declan Rice trying it from midfield. Other than that, who else is going to take the game by the scruff of the neck and win you that game? A 17-year-old kid and Declan Rice. You know, that was it for me. You know, like, defensively, done very, very well. You know, our best.
We've got defenders.
Yeah, well, our best chance come from a defender. Yeah. Calafiori, great turn, unlucky. You know, and then I don't know if we do. Say if Calafiori does score that goal, have we got the nous? Have we got the bottle, if you want to call it that, to go on and win that game 1-0? I don't know. You know what I mean?
I think we could. Yeah, I think we could. I think we've got the defence that could hold out and win a game 1-0.
Yeah, I think that's
what we're going to have to.
That's what we've got right for the Champions League now.
You know what? Right? Let's play a little. Well, calling it a game, but let's try this. Yeah. I'm going to go through the league. And currently, yeah? So, with what we've got,
yeah,
right? I want you to tell me if we have a better attack than these teams, right? So, let's start from the top. Liverpool, obviously, no. Nottingham Forest,
no.
Chris Woods, Alanga, you know, players like that.
They're much better than us.
Right? Man City, obviously not. Mamouche, Haaland, Doku. Chelsea, no. Neto, Nkunku,
Kelpa. I don't know. Not. There's nothing spectacular.
Neto and Nkunku. Who's the other wide player? Who's the other? Who's on the other wing? No, Sancho.
Cole Palmer.
Yeah, no. We ain't got a better attack than them. Newcastle, no. Right, I mean, Isak, Gordon, etc. Bournemouth, no. Evan Nilsson's back now. They've got Clivert. They've got, right. Brighton, no. Matoma,
no.
Players like that, no. Minte. Fulham, no. They've got
Smith Rowe.
But also they've got Traore on one wing. They've got what's his name that he used to play for Wolves down the middle. Jimenez. All these.
I wouldn't say that they're wonderful for them, but I know
that's a better attack than us. Yeah. They've got a striker. He's a striker.
Give you that. Go on, I'll give you
that. Villa, no. Right. I mean, now they've got Asensio, Rashford, Watkins.
Yeah.
No. Brentford, no. Embuemo, Wissa, players like that. Shada. Crystal Palace, no. Mateta,
Eddie.
Players like, not Eddie, but Mateta and players like that. Spurs, no. Even no. Currently,
what currently?
Currently, no. Son, Brennan Johnson, who's
the new guy?
Matthias Tell. That's better than what we've got. It's not. It's not brilliant.
It's better than all of them.
Yeah, but that's one player. I'm talking as a front three. They could put out a better front. They could put out a front three more capable of scoring goals than us.
Yeah.
Would you say that?
Yeah.
All right.
Go on in.
Man United. I think
no.
Yeah, no. I think United. I think ours probably better than theirs.
No, about the same.
Rasmus Højlund, Xerxes. I mean, they're strikers.
Yeah, no,
but they're not really.
They've scored 3 goals yesterday. I don't think we're capable of scoring 3 goals.
Okay. Rasmus Højlund thing. No, yeah, actually, United better. Rasmus Højlund, Xerxes, Garnacho. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's better.
They score 3 goals, eh?
Everton.
Yep.
Beto.
Yeah, that's it. Beto. Better than Vetters.
Right. Wolves. Strand Larsen. Striker.
Cunha.
Mateus Cunha.
Yeah, no, better than us.
Ipswich.
Yep. Delap.
Not sure about that. Amari Hutchinson.
Yeah, they're better than us.
Leicester.
No.
They just kind of really got
Vardy,
Navadidi. Probably not. And Southampton has better.
No.
Yeah. So, out of all 20 teams,
2 have got better.
Two have got worse.
It's worse.
So
yeah.
Leicester and Southampton, who, by the way, they're the 2 bottom clubs,
zone.
right? You would, the other teams, as it currently stands, and we're saying currently, you'd say have probably got a better attacking force and have the capability of bringing attacking players off the bench.
Most of them got centre forward, Rob.
Yeah, and we know. Listen, we know it's because of injuries. Because we would, if all the injured players were there, of course, obviously we'd have a better attack than the majority of those.
Yeah.
But because of it, so how could these guys expect us? How do they expect in Arsenal to mount a serious title challenge?
No, 100%.
And a serious Champions League challenge. We're going to move on to the Champions League soon because that's
our next game.
That's their next game. But how?
Listen.
Come on, make it. What's? I mean, people will look on it and say, Arsenal fans, you lot like to moan, and this is one instance in which every single Arsenal fan has a full right to moan. And I'll tell you the other thing, where Mikel Arteta, right, I don't know if it was his decision in January or not, it seems to me like he was demanding forward players, but one thing that you got to say, over the last couple of years, it's like he don't want to buy a striker.
Yeah, well, he's not done it. So
why? What is it? What is it with him that he don't like? He don't want to bring a striker in.
I look at it two things, right? You know, one about the fans yesterday. There was not one Arsenal fan that I spoke to yesterday thought we was going to win that game yesterday. You know what I mean? And we all thought it was going to lose and all that. But at the end of it, all come out going, look, you know, we've done our best.
I thought it'd be a draw actually before the game.
Yeah, but he didn't think he was going to win.
No.
And secondly, what's the thing that's been holding us back over the year? You know what I mean? Over these last couple of seasons, he's a proper striker. Now, I believe in the summer, whether you like it or not, it's only my opinion, right? I don't think Arteta wanted that striker. I think he was happy to go with Havertz.
Yeah, no, he was.
So that's down to him.
That's down to him.
When you look at it, with the results at home, what's going to get you over the line? Beating the likes of these West Hams, Fulhams, those sort of teams, that the low block teams, Evertons and all that. Like, for me, he's a striker, a proper out-and-out goal scorer. Not Calafiori, not Marino. They was never going to influence whether you beat these teams. So there is got to be some sort of blame on Arteta for because he's not wanted that. Nope. Now all of a sudden he wants it. Well, I think at the end of the day, if you're going to get over the line, and because you know, I like to talk to neutral sometimes. Just speaking to my brother about it, and my brother turned around today and said on the phone, if Arsenal had a proper number 9, they'd be unbelievable. Yeah. Unbelievable side.
We've been saying it for years.
Defence. You got one of the best defences in Europe. You got, which is, whether you think, you know, I wasn't on board about it at first with Raya, but now Raya's
been excellent.
Raya's obviously one of the best goalkeepers in Europe. Our midfield is one of the best in Europe on its day. We've got the wide players of excitement with Saka, Martinelli, Trossard even contributes there, but you know, we need to get somebody else in and all that. Havertz does a job, but does a job. You know, and even like if you've got that top striker, Havertz may even get better in another position. Yeah. Who knows?
It takes the pressure off him.
Yeah, of course it does, and he then he delivers in other areas. And if you looked at it, if you've got a striker scoring 20 goals and him contributing with 10, 15 goals, and so all these teams at the minute, the Man Uniteds and all that, and Chelsea's and. Long may Mikel stay in the job, because if he's not prepared to go and get that main man, then Arsenal are going to be where they are.
No, he's messed up big time. He's messed up big time because in the summer he didn't get that striker. I don't know, this thing about, we'll wait for it. We'll wait for what?
What we wait? What? And that's
we
another
waiting
thing
for?
now. What we wait? Because it's the end of the day. I think every Arsenal fan, I think, and I don't speak for Arsenal fans. I'm just going to talk for myself. So I'm going to just talk about how I feel. Right? I have been patient for so many years now. Right? You know what I mean? And the last couple of years, and I said it on my interview yesterday, and I'll say it again. That is the first game yesterday that I've gone to since Chelsea away when Eddie scored 2 goals that I haven't thought that we could win the game, right? So credit to the manager, credit to the club, everything there that I go to, wherever it be, Liverpool, Man United, Man City, I think we got a chance of winning, which we haven't done in previous years. Now, when you look at all of that, I've followed it, I've gone with it, sort of believed everything that you've said, the owners and all that, be excited, blah, 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 blah. Come the summer now, you have to deliver, for me, the right tools for this manager to go on and win this league. And I'm not having a go at Sesko. I don't really know what he can do and what he can't do, but he's not the finished article as far as I'm concerned. I want the real deals coming in. 2 of them, 2 strikers, by the way.
I agree.
2 proper strikers. One that can play in the Odegaard hole and play as a false, and that I'm talking Cunha or someone of that ilk, and then a top striker, and also a wide player coming in as well. So there's 3 players there straight away. I would let Trossard go, maybe to recoup a bit, but that's what I want to see there. In midfield, I want to see a proper midfield player coming in and in that, and maybe a central defender to Kivior going and Zinchenko going, and a goalkeeper. I don't want us to be sitting there going, we've got like Sesko, Nico Williams might be a good thing, I don't know, but I don't want to see players, and I've got nothing against these guys, they're not tried and trusted. I want the real deals coming in, otherwise I think Arteta is going to be bang under pressure.
I think he has
the
to,
ball as well.
He has to win something next season. Have to, or I really do feel that would be the end of the road, because you can't just keep coming second all the time, because you have to then look on it and say,
there's got to be some.
You have to assess it and say to yourself, we're never going to get us over the line, isn't it? So you got to. I think there's a mitigation. Even so, some of it's self-inflicted, but there's a mitigation this season with the amount of injuries that Arsenal have had. You said it last night. You said, remember last season, Liverpool were flying, Salah got injured, and just went, right? That was one player, right? So there's a mitigation there with so many key players being out. But next season, there's no excuses. I agree with you, 2 strikers. One an out killer.
Yeah.
And the other one, like you said, a player like a Mateus Cunha or somebody like that who can come in, scores lots of goals, either from midfield or as that second striker and that, right? Definitely, right? I agree, a midfield player. Probably 2 midfield players, because remember, Partey and Jorginho are going to be leaving. All right, there's talk of Zubimendi, but I think we need someone else as well, right? And then, probably a centre back, because I do feel Kivior will move on. Zinchenko, yep, and a goalkeeper. But I'm telling you what, they need to concentrate in those attacking areas, right? And I think they put themselves under serious pressure. I don't think you can just go and get a Sesko. I don't think fans are going to be satisfied with that.
I certainly won't be. I've got nothing against him. Nothing against him.
And even though, right, you can argue that, when Newcastle bought, Isak, he wasn't the finished article. He didn't come in with an amazing record. He came in with a good record. Yeah. He came with a good reputation, but he wasn't seen as an absolute clinical player and the great player that he is now. So that would be the only argument you could say with a Sesko, But this thing about, which is, I just get the feeling I know what they're going to do this summer. It's going to be like a Sesko, 21, ceilings high, all that sort of stuff. They're not going to go out there and spend I just get that feeling. But they've got to go big. They need some headliners this summer, because they put themselves under that pressure. And, the patience of fans that have been right behind this project for the past couple of seasons, like you said, It's gone now. I think that's gone. I think, you know what I mean, with what they did in January, that was clear to see for every fan. It was clear to see that, these guys they've got no ambition. And then, remember, it's the fans that have got to go to the games. It's the fans that turned out last night, full allocation sold, that are there. They got to deal with that. They got to go. It's us going PSV next week. It's us going Man United. It's us going to be at Chelsea. It's us.
Yeah.
Every single game. And it's just like it's in January we just waved the white flag on the season. In my opinion, it was just like, all right, let's try, see how we get on. That's what you do when you're in the mid-table. Not when you've still got things to play for.
And the other thing is you know, like season tickets. You've bought your season ticket now. The PSV game, £71 is the minimum.
My ticket's £105.
£105. So your ticket on top of what you're paying for normal is £105.
£105.
Right. So everybody that's bought their season tickets have now got to pay out £105 for yours, £100 or £71 is the cheapest one. On top of what you're doing. And you're paying £105. You're paying top money, right, to see a makeshift forward line. Yeah. Right? But we pay it because that's
currently one of the worst forward lines in the league. And we're not dissing the players that are there, but it's just facts. Now, we run through it.
Now, Mark, you know, that's fair enough. He's in club level, right? So his ticket is probably about $250 for one game, all right? He said, do you know what? I'm tapping out, which is, I get from every fan that can do that at the moment, right? I put my ticket on Ticket Exchange. They're not accepting them at this moment in time. So you can't put them on Ticket Exchange. The reason being, because they don't know if, you know, like season ticket holders might not go for these tickets, so they're going to go on general sale, like, or whatever, like, you know. I don't blame any fan at this moment in time that wouldn't want to spend an additional £70 minimum.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's not due to lack of support. It's due to absolute frustration.
Finances are tight.
Yeah, you've seen people above you make a decision where they just think, we ain't spending.
Yeah, so why should you?
So why should that individual spend?
Yeah, and I
don't blame them. I don't blame them. I
don't blame any fan at this moment in time. Yeah. Listen, I know there was a lot of fans up there yesterday that don't go very often, and a few of the regulars thought, you know what, I ain't going to that. I'll sell my ticket. You know, and there's an opportunity for some fans to go to that game yesterday. Again, I got no problem with it, like, you know, because I feel that the club have let me down in January. Like, I genuinely thought that we could win the league. And that's why I was so coming up after
listen, in January, I looked at it and thought, at that point, Liverpool clear favourites.
Yeah, of course they're favourites, right? And rightly so. Right? They've been fantastic.
But we got to try and we still in a decent position. So let's go out there now, strengthen, and really have a go at this. Put some serious. What did City do to us last year?
Yeah,
they
put the pressure on
us all the way down the stretch until the pressure told in one game, and then they went and won the league by 2 points. Right, so I'm thinking, right, we've got to put pressure on, but we didn't.
No, that's what's hurt me.
And then you just see Liverpool now just cruise into the title, absolute procession. Every game, no pressure. Then as well, some of the things that are like, you know, played as City, no Haaland, played last night, no Isak. You know, what I mean, I said everything's going their way.
Yeah, listen,
right?
But
at the end of the day, they've earned the right to have things go their way.
Exactly right? That.
But we've put no pressure on them whatsoever. Well, that signal that's sent out in January is that we'll see what we can do. You know, when you go to someone and say, yeah, you know what, we'll see what we can do, mate.
Yeah.
Right? Nothing. They're not winners, man.
And the other thing you have to look at, and I look at Liverpool when I'm looking at Arsenal a little bit now, like, you know, what have Liverpool done differently this season to last season? Well, what they've done is they've changed their manager, right? And the change of manager, just by the little bits that he's come in, just tweaked this and that, has took them from third to win the title this season, like, you know. So what have Arsenal got to do? Like, I'm not saying they've got to get rid of Arteta, but what I'm saying is Arteta has got to change something.
Yeah,
he's got to change his mentality about what the forward situation and the way we play, or we change him.
Yeah.
And at this moment in time, I'm going to say this now, whether you think I'm right, whether I think you're wrong. I'm not sure if he can be the man that takes over the line. I'm going to be really honest.
He's got another year, hasn't he?
He deserves the opportunity because of what he's done the last couple of years. My God, don't mess it up now. Because I'm telling you that now, if we're in the same position when we've not done what we've done in
can't go another season without winning.
It can't go.
Yeah.
It can't go.
Still in the Champions League. We'll be over there next week in Eindhoven.
Let's hope we're bored out of our heads.
So you
straight up. That's
so
what
go over there and try and like
0-0,
scumbag a 0-0.
Yeah, exactly what we done yesterday. Listen, if you go to PSV, play like that we did yesterday, and come away with a 0-0 like we did yesterday, we'd be. I wouldn't say you'd be going, well, it's the greatest result ever, but that's a decent result. You've got a chance. Come back here and try and nick something.
Can't be coming back here needing, like, say, 2 goals.
No, even 1 goal. You can't. Like, Arsenal not going to score no more than 2 goals in any game. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we've got to be. So basically, you're going out there.
Is that the tactic now for the rest of the Champions League?
Yeah.
Like, just like,
yeah,
you know, almost become
Nottingham
Forest.
Listen.
Be Nottingham Forest in the Champions League. Just be very, very defensive and try and catch teams on the counter.
Exactly. Well, we ain't got nothing on the counter. You know what I mean? Like, what we're going to have to do is do that and not maybe nick a set piece. You know, where's our pace in our side? Like other teams have got. We haven't got that, so we're going to have to. You know, we've got maybe Martinelli coming back after this, but how I see it now is, look, I don't know about you. I'm looking at that. Let's try and get through PSV, and then hopefully Real Madrid beat Munich, beat Atletico, because I've been to Atletico's new stadium. I've not been to the new one at the Bernabeu. I just want to go there and have a look and experience that. That's what I want to do. We ain't going to win it. We ain't going to beat Real Madrid. We're probably going to get stuffed. But I'm looking at it and just thinking, I've been to PSV 3 times on the spin now. I think this is the 4th time maybe. I want to experience. I want to get something out of it, like, and our little trip to Spain and Madrid. I do, because we ain't winning it, and just experience the Bernabeu, like Bernabeu. That's all I want to do. Like, and then
PSV is a game we can get through, but you would have said that with the full squad. But
listen,
they did beat Juventus.
If Arsenal go out, yeah, they beat Juventus. They scored 3 goals against Juventus.
Yeah.
So they're capable, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't think we're beat PSV over 2 legs. I'll be really honest. If I'm a betting man, I think we'll lose 1-0 over there and 0-0 over here. I don't think that we'll get through, but I'm just hoping that we do. Even if we get through this, you're coming up against Real Madrid. Say it's going to be out Real Madrid. Look at their forward line, 2 hours. You know what I mean? Like, over 2 legs, we ain't going to be able to control that, you know. But then again, you look at it, Rob, and this is a team that we come third. We come third in that whole of the Champions League, like, you know what I mean.
But that's when we had we still had like Jesus playing, Havertz, all those guys. They're all gone.
They're all gone. You know what I mean? So it's not just the league. You know, someone said to me. Ryan was talking about it, like we were talking about before we come on here. He's going like, the leagues maybe it would have gone in January. So we have spent the money? I can, keep it for next season. I said, yeah,
no,
that's fair enough. Well, even
maybe because
we
you
had
said
the
what you said there. You used the word there, maybe, and we, like you said, we had the Champions League.
That was the thing. Like, people forget we had the Champions League as well. You know, next season,
do you want to win the Champions League? That's the question that we need to. I would have loved to put to, the powers that be. Do you want to win the Champions League? Because if you want to win the Champions League, that team is not good enough to win the Champions League unless you get lucky. Do you want to win the league?
Well,
with the amount of injuries we had, how you can't win the league. No. So have they just looked on it and just said to themselves, we ain't winning it, let's just hold that money back.
Next year, I'm not being horrible, Rob, like the Champions League.
I ain't here for finances, man.
The Champions League this year, right, is opened up. I don't care any way you look at it, right? And I'll tell you why it's opened up, because Manchester City are one of the favourites. Gone. Right? PSG, because of their poor run in the beginning of it, have now got Liverpool. One of the big games, gone. Madrid, because they've not were you'd back any normal team that'd come in the top 8. They didn't, right? Real Madrid. So they've knocked out Manchester City. They're going to knock out Atletico, or Atletico are going to knock out there. All of a sudden, this opens up.
Yeah.
Next year,
Juventus are gone.
Yeah, next year Juventus are gone.
Bayern are not playing very well.
So next year, all these teams might be right back on it. Right back on it, and you might not get the chance. You know what I mean? So again, you look at it and go, right, who would you say is favourites to win it now? You're probably saying Liverpool.
Yeah.
Right, and there's us and Liverpool, the two teams that are going for it in the title. I'm not saying. So again, we've just thrown it away.
Throwing it away, because if you finish third, like you said, you finish third in it. That means that you've done well. That means you have got a chance. But you go out now. But then with your players like Saka and that being out, who are and Jesus, who are main players that, because remember, Jesus was doing well in the Champions League, right? Yeah. You've got to go out and bring someone in. How can you not bring no one in? Make sense of it for me.
Yeah.
Or the only reason is you believe you can't win it. So you're like, I ain't spending. It has to be that.
What?
They cannot send me any other reason for not bringing anybody in. Right? Because if you don't bring anybody in, and the two of the main players that have helped you to finish third, and finishing third in that thing shows you that you got a chance, that shows me that you do not feel you're going to win it, and you're just keeping your money, it's terrible.
The other thing is, and I do gauge this, because Julian Knight is... very, very positive on everything. Gets slagged off for it a lot, but he does keep himself very, very positive about that. It's conversation going home yesterday, can we still win the league, right? And he laughed. He said, no, it's gone, right? Can we win the Champions League? He turned around and he said, we can, but it's realistically, we're not.
It's just luck if we win
it. I don't know how you're going to win it.
There's been a few teams that won the Champions League, they've just when Inter won it.
I remember Chelsea won it when they was poor.
I remember when Inter won it, and it was they was playing Eto'o at right back. And things like that. Marino just pulled off a defensive mark. Every now and again that can happen, right? What was that team all them years ago that won it? Was it Dynamo? I can't remember. But yeah,
Porto won it.
But those are a long time.
That ain't going to happen. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you've got you can play against a Real Madrid, for instance, and defend for one game, but not two.
Yeah.
You can't do it And also, don't forget, in that Champions League draw, you say you need a little bit of luck, which you do. Our two, and our quarterfinals and semi-finals, the second legs, we're away from home, so that's going to make it even tougher.
Yeah.
So you need a little bit of luck in everything. So you need it to go your way. And I think you earn your little bit of luck as well, like Liverpool have done, as you said earlier on. We don't deserve any luck in the Champions League, really, because for what we've done, and I do like to, the positive Arsenal fans and all that, and Julian is one of them, and he basically knows the season's done. You know what I mean, So when you've got people like that telling you, you know what I mean, it tells you everything you need to know, Rob.
Yeah,
it does.
All right, well, let's see how we get on predictions for that game, PSV.
Heart saying 0-0. I'll bite your out. If you said to me now it's going to finish 0-0, I'm going to be bored out of my head.
Let me be positive and go 1-1.
1-1.
1-1. I think we might score. I think maybe we're going to be very defensive in that game. Could catch them on the counter, even though you're right.
And who do you think will score?
Waneri.
Waneri.
The only positive is they've got a little rest this weekend. We've got no FA Cup games, right? So they got a little rest. They can go and just go flying into that game. Hopefully
they ain't going to Dubai.
That's worked out well, isn't it? Got injured players, get players injured out there. You know what? We've got a new feature, right? That we're going to be trying out. So over the next couple of weeks, you're going to be seeing the show Invincible podcast. It'll be taken up on some new format in the next couple of weeks, right? You're going to really enjoy some of the features that we're going to have in it. One of them is the judge meter or the judger meter, right? Which what we're going to do every week, right, is we're going to take a look at your fan cam, right? and we're going to rate how angry you get. You've got a reputation for getting
I don't know where
angry.
It comes from like that.
You don't know where it comes from. Listen, over the years, right, and still to this day, you're a guy you can just be like talking normally, and then you just go, I don't know why, and you just get angry. You do. You don't think so?
Yeah, I don't know.
So let's see if we can run a test on this judger meter.
Do you know what? I love Declan Rice. Declan, I love him. Disappointed me today.
What? Whoa, wait, what? He was
went and shook his hand at the end of the game.
Gamesmanship.
I would have stuck my finger up to him like 1-0, Oliver. You. That's what I would have said.
But he's
not shake his hand.
He's a professional. It's a gamesmanship. A model professional.
Gamemanship today, Oliver. He's done it again.
You got very angry on that video. Now we're going to be testing you on the judger meter every week, and you know, I don't know, man. With all the amount of players we got missing, I get the feeling levels may be higher on the judger meter.
Yeah, well, like, you know, if we go out of the Champions League, we'll win. We'll, like, you know, but like looking at that, that's when you look at that and you think to yourself, like, you straight after the game, your emotions are completely different to what they are. And I'm going to be.
You've even been angry in the studio.
I'm going to be honest. You make me more angry than Cecil. Like you know, what I mean, you actually know what buttons to press.
I've seen you get angry in the studio.
Oh yeah, I get angry. Like,
I'll tell you what, right? If we had that angry meter that time when we was over in LA last year when Julie was driving.
Oh.
I think the angry meter would have blown up.
That was blown up. I lost it. Like, you know what I mean? I lost it then. Like, and do you remember I lost it at West Ham? Do you remember that when Saka missed the penalty? Like,
oh yeah.
I knew that it was. I knew what was coming. I knew what was
All
coming.
right, so we got the judger meter. That's going to be one of our new features, right? So look out for that. Every week we'll be testing the judger meter just to see how he got on. But listen, we've come to the end of the show today. It's all about PSV next week. Let's keep this season alive for as long as possible.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Let's go over there and put in a performance. We're going to be out there, so make sure you look out. I think we'll be doing Invincibles from over in Holland next week as well, so look out for that. We're also going to be doing lots of videos around it. We'll be going live out there as well, so lots of content coming from over in PSV. Of course, no game this weekend. Also, another thing to look out for, we're going to be doing some lives this weekend at 7. We're live at 7 every night, but we're doing a couple of special ones where they're going to be a little longer, right, where we're going to feature a lot of people. So look out for those lives as well. And of course, Lee is also on Forever Arsenal, so make sure you check those out. But Lee, thanks very much. Yeah. And just before I go, just got to say another big thanks going out to NordVPN. We'll be using our NordVPN over in Holland next week. If you're going abroad, it's absolutely brilliant. Even if you're staying here, it's a great tool to keep all of your information safe on your phone, right? So if you want to get the deal on NordVPN, just click the link in the description and get access to that. But thanks once again to NordVPN, and thanks to you guys, and we'll see you next week.